At this point, if everyone would stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. If you would, please, members of the board, please look at the item number Roman numeral 2. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Looking at item number 3, our agenda for today, April 9th. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented? Hearing none, the agenda is also approved by unanimous consent. I would at this time, and this is perfect timing. I mean, well, almost. It says Tracy will bring the sign-in sheet to me, including visitors and news media. So we're almost there. So I do want to say,
We need to check and see, like, he is not a public comment, that's a waiver, so we need to check that these are making public comment. These are our visitors.
hey, we will start with our visitors, if we can, please. We'll start with our visitors and just make yourself feel comfortable. And I'd like to introduce Lori Moore from the York County GOP, if Lori's here. Thank you for being here. Martha Kern from the York County GOP. Tinley Middleton from South Carolina Association of School Librarians. Thank you. Thank you very much. Josh Malkin, ACLU-SC. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here with us. Jennifer Rainville from the South Carolina Appleseed Legal Justice. Thank you for being with us. Caitlin Boyce, Moms for Liberty. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now you got me. I'm trying to get a reference to see if I'm double booked. Matt Brewer, BR something Brown, ACLU-SC. And your name, sir? Butler. It wasn't Brewer, but I got it. Thank you very much. And we'll have several of these from the FCCLA. Jean Shaw. Jean, and FCCLA stands for what? Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. And again, did I tell you about your coat? All right. We have another nice name. Oh, thank you. You know, this beats this a lot of times. You know? So I'm gonna try to look at this. We do have several of these with us today, and this may help me out more. So I have Linda Lewis, the advisor. I have Peter Smith. Thank you, sir. Majesty Elmore. Thank you very much. Jean Shaw. I got you right this time. I got you right this time. Maria Flatus. Thank you. Whew, getting better. Elena Lehman. Is Elena here? That's okay. Andriana Cornell. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. India Moorer. Thank you. Tiana McFadder. Get the name right? Thank you. Jalen Sweat. Okay. Tony Fordham. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Rhonda Yammer. Thank you very much. And she's also an advisor. I think you can probably tell the advisors from the students, but if not, I'll try to help. Matthew Kiesler. Did I pronounce the name right? Thank you. Emma Brennan. Thank you very much. Molly Gordon, an advisor. I'd almost got you for a student. Ramel Bactus. Okay with the name? Okay. Honesty Muccio. All right, I messed that name up. I know I did. Oh. Terry Stutz. Terry Stutz, CTE Director. Okay. Ginger Hill, State Advisor. Thank you very much. Santana Pena. Thank you. And Keila Zhao. Keila or Kayla? Keila. Thank you very much. And they were with DECA, so we have lots of people. I mean, if you look at this, we have so many different schools, organizations, Wando, Clover, Pickens, Bluffton. So, I mean, just for a minute, congratulations. And we are very proud that you're here. And I do think there are a few others that I'm going to try to do my best with. Emma Brennan, I've mentioned, I think. Liz Meyer, thank you. Visitor, thank you very much, ma'am. And then later, I will have, and there will be part of the program that we will have for our people that would like to speak, but we have media in attendance today. Yeah, DECA. DECA starts with sort of a. Oh, that's just a continuation. Okay. Thought they wanted to, I was going to be impressed with DECA having, I was getting ready to be impressed. All right, so I have those. And if anybody I've left out, guys, this is your meeting. Understand, this is the State Board of Education meeting. This is for you, and it's understood that we are honored and we're welcome that you are with us today. Did I leave out anybody? Because I don't want anybody to be left out, because that sometimes hurts more than you think. Anybody? Going once? Going twice? All right. So we will have that, and later we will have public comment. I do want to welcome those of you in attendance and to those of you who have joined us. If you're online, thank you for your interest in the work of the State Board of Education. And we've announced visitors, and we are appreciative. If there's any news media not here, you had a chance. The State Board report. I used to think preachers were the only people that said this, but I honestly fell for it. The deal was, I wrote what I wanted to say on Sunday and didn't feel right, so I scrapped it and rewrote everything yesterday because it was easy with February and Valentine's and easy with St. Patrick's and March, and it was harder with April. So I had a plan, I ran with it, didn't like it, scrapped it. So this is today's, as of yesterday's, State Board Chair report. My wife, Terry, has a poster in her office with a quote attributed to Buddha. The trouble is, you think you have time. This is so obvious and true, yet we often remain oblivious. As educators, we often see time divided into years or 9 weeks or months, especially near the end of another year. However, every single day matters to our students. We must make the most of every day, since we are privileged enough to have these students most often for just a single year, and every single day matters. As an educator, I've been guilty of thinking of time as trends or chunks. The time between Christmas and Thanksgiving, or the time known as the long haul, that time after the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday and spring break, and the time that we call the sprint to the finish, which most of us are in now, in that time of review, remediation, and enrichment before standardized state testing. We must look, though, at time as capital, the most prized commodity of exchange. We must do our best now and every day. But you see, we must remember that time cannot be bought or sold or replaced or created. I am proud our state superintendent has taken the time to invest in evidence-based strategies like the science of reading and the time to align standards to help teachers engage and challenge students. I have with me today, and this has sort of spurred this particular homily, a report that came out in September, A Generation at Risk, A Call to Action. It's an interesting report. It comes from the Fordham Foundation, a conservative think tank, and centrist Democrats. It blends very well with current efforts by our State Department of Education. You see, the report states, and now I'm quoting, "With the pressures of political polarization, a rapidly aging society, a fluid job market, and the emerging capabilities of artificial intelligence, today's children face uncertain futures. As advocates, we must step up now, emphasis now, to find every means necessary to support our students and their choices. We cannot be a great nation if we don't do right by our young people. The need is evident. The time is now. Why? Because the trouble is, you think you have time." Thank you very much. And at this point, we will turn it over to our state superintendent. Please, take it away, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What a moving reminder about the most precious commodity that any of us have. And that's why it's such a privilege to be here at board meetings like this, when I'm traveling around speaking with different civic organizations around the state, just reminding them that, yes, they pay taxes that supports public education, but the most valuable gift that we can give anyone is the gift of our time. And I think more than anything, that is what our schools across this state need, are an army of volunteers willing to serve as tutors, as mentors, even just to sit in the lunchroom like we've talked about before so that a teacher can have their planning period. Time truly is the most valuable gift we can give anybody. So thank you for that, Dr. O'Shields. And I was a little worried you were going to pick April Fools as the holiday to celebrate in your homily, but I'm glad that you didn't. So anyway, I wanted to say just as a personal point of privilege too, I know that you all in your morning meetings have already recognized our outgoing member of the board, Alan Walters, but I just wanted to take a moment to add my personal thanks, Alan. You were actually the very first member of the state board who reached out to me, who I sat down with in the fall of 2023, I guess that would have been, or 22, I'm sorry. And so we're so grateful for the years of service that you have given, not only to the school system there in Georgetown that you continue to give, but to your years of commutes and very long meetings here at the state board. We're grateful for your leadership and for your service. So thank you for that. The second thing that I wanted to celebrate today was what fellow board member Tammy called a crescendo of excellence. She has served as one of the judges on our State Teacher of the Year review panel. This is her second year doing that. And so we just had our finalist interview day here in Columbia yesterday, and I understand that they were just incredible, outstanding. So we actually have a very good representation of different levels and subject matter areas in our Teacher of the Year finalists this year. We have Mr. Blake Bishop from Greenwood 51, who is a high school teacher at the historic Ware Shoals High School there, and he really has a strong passion for public safety. When I got to go surprise him, I was greeted by what they call the Squad 51 there, which is the high schoolers that are part of their rapid response. So they're doing CPR training, they're doing doing Stop the Bleed. They're volunteering with their local volunteer fire district, all things first responders. And so they wear badges and vests within the school to identify themselves. And in case of an emergency or a school evacuation or something like that, they are Johnny on the spot. And so Blake leads them in addition to his other teaching duties. So that was a wonderful, wonderful visit there. Will Epps from Blythewood here, Richland too. And he actually, it's a three-peat. He is the third Teacher of the Year finalist to hail from Blythewood. And interestingly enough, he is the student of a former Teacher of the Year finalist. So it's kind of a very cool generational connection there. But he is a science teacher there, and it's really encouraging and innovative what he's doing to connect biofuel industry experience that he has with classroom learning and what his students are doing. They call it the Bengal Biofuel Project, since they're the Blythewood Bengals. And so he's doing some really innovative things in his classroom there to connect the classroom learning with real world industry experience. Katie Farr, who is our teacher from Spartanburg 5, she's an elementary school teacher, and she has a special focus on literacy. And you were talking about the science of reading. This is something that she has a huge passion for. And I have to tell you, I'm a little bit biased in these school visits. The middle schoolers and the high schoolers are absolutely wonderful, but nobody gets excited like those elementary school kids. And so going into a gym full of them, and they are just so glad to be there and so excited to celebrate their teacher. It was just a wonderful experience. Becca Hamrick from up in Cherokee, she is a special education teacher there working with young adults from 18 to 21. And it was such a joy to meet some of her students. We actually had to extend our announcement window this year because we couldn't get to Becca because she and her students were on vacation. And so what they do is they have a coffee shop there at their CTE center that these special young adults run and manage. And through the proceeds that they earn from that coffee shop, they get to go on a vacation to Myrtle Beach. And what's so incredible about this, many of them have never been outside of Gaffney. And when you are dealing with the special needs of this population, getting outside of their comfort zone and enacting in a situation that they have not been in, meeting people that they haven't met before, those are very real life skills that they have to be able to practice. And so they had just gotten back from their vacation. It was incredible. One of the young ladies in particular, Erica, she was a young lady with Down syndrome. And so they found out that the next week was my birthday. And so of course she sang happy birthday to me. She led the music. She was blowing kisses to the camera. She was on. So that was an incredibly fun visit. And then finally, last but not least, Braden Wilson is from Anderson 1, and she is a middle school history teacher at Palmetto Middle there in Williamston. And just incredible example of resilience and just the impact that she's having on her students there every day. And interestingly enough, 2 of our Teacher of the Year finalists are pregnant. So I don't know if we're going to have a labor and delivery nurse on site for the banquet the gala that we're doing at the Governor's Mansion. But I believe you all should have received your invitations for that. That'll be on April the 29th. And we certainly hope that if your schedule permits, you can be there for what I know will be an incredible celebration of not just these 5 teachers, but the incredible work that our teachers across this state do every single day, the dedication and time that they devote to our students. And finally, last but not least, you stole a little bit of my thunder, but I'll forgive you for it, in the reading of our guests who are here with us today. So we are joined by students who represent different career and technical student organizations, or CTSOs. And the thought process behind this is that they are providing leadership, personal development, and applied learning in real-world applications, just like I was talking about with our teacher from Richland too. And so we actually have a young man here with us today whose name is Peter Smith III, and I'd like to read you just a brief biography of him and then invite him to the podium for just a few minutes of brief comment to talk about what these organizations have meant to him in his education journey. So Peter Smith III is a proud and distinguished FCCLA, and we heard that that stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America member, with over 3 years of active involvement in the Woodlands High School chapter with Linda Lewis, his family and consumer sciences teacher and advisor. During this period, he has assumed significant roles, including chapter president, as well as South Carolina FCCLA first vice president and state president. Peter's exceptional involvement extends to various facets of his school and community. He was voted on by his peers at the national level at the 2023 National Conference in Seattle, Washington, where he assumed the position of FCCLA National Vice President of Competitive Events. So South Carolina was very well represented on the national stage. In addition, he serves as the varsity tennis all-state captain, marching band drum major, National Technical Honor Society secretary, National Honor Society vice president, Beta Club president, and Student Government Association president. Furthermore, as if that isn't enough. Yes, exactly. Peter co-founded a nonprofit organization, Pease Saxmore Farms, dedicated to ensuring his community has access to healthy food items. His passions include playing the alto saxophone, dancing, fostering new friendships, and cherishing moments with loved ones. Peter is a senior and plans to pursue a degree at an accredited university, majoring either in political science or engineering. I was a poli-sci major, so I may be a little tilted towards one side or the other. But Peter, please come and speak to us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. As stated, my name is Peter Smith III. I am a senior at Woodland High School in Dorchester County, and I currently serve as Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America National Vice President. Throughout my time through CTSOs, I have learned and gained valuable knowledge that will help prepare me for life, but isn't typically given in a traditional classroom. I've learned how to network and talk with different groups of people, from local community members to U.S. representatives. That is very, very, very important. And with that, effective communication is key to advancing through life. The most important thing I got out of being in a CTSO is exposure. Specifically, being a national officer, I have met with the U.S. Department of Education twice, and personally with Dr. Amy Lloyd. I've advocated on Capitol Hill, met with legislators, and even met with some of South Carolina's own, Congressman James Clyburn and Senator Tim Scott. Opportunities like this don't come every day. And when they come, I take it and establish a connection there. This is very important for our future leaders coming up in America. Like this, without these opportunities, CTSOs wouldn't be possible. I would have never even thought of trying to pursue that type. For example, if you think of CTSO, think of it as the final icing on the cake, or the real-world exposure that I know every South Carolina high school student can benefit from. No matter what you do after high school, nurse, doctor, electrician, or go to trade school, you must know how to communicate, you must know how to network, and apply real-world skills to real-world applications. And with that, with personal experiences, I know that career, technical, student organizations is the perfect resources for that. Again, my name is Peter Smith III. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Peter. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for being here today to elevate and celebrate the many different pathways that there are to success in life. So thank you very much. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield the floor.
All right, thank you again. Thank you all for, again, seriously, thank you, Peter, that's phenomenal. I mean, no notes. I had to write mine. Even writing mine, I misread them. But the thought is, incredible job. A lot of times we don't appreciate the many benefits and the blessings that we really do have in South Carolina. They're honestly there. We have to sometimes maybe look for them, but they're there because it's our children, it's their future, and it's what we're looking at and why we meet as we do. Thank you again very much. There is no parliamentarian comment today. We do have some people who have asked to speak, and I will ask them to come up in the order that they have signed in. We appreciate your interest in public education. You will be allotted 5 minutes for your comments. Since we're hearing your comments for the first time, it is our policy to accept your comments as information. If we have questions or need additional information, we will contact you at a later date. Thank you for understanding our procedures. And if we could please have Linda Fisher, the York County GOP, if she would come forward, please.
Good afternoon. My name's Linda Fisher. I am from York County. I've come here today to give you some research and opinions, recommendations on the curriculum for the 2024-2025 publishers for South Carolina Public Schools. Let me apprise you of the criteria that we used to make our recommendations. We based our primary focus on whether the publishers followed the bill signed into law only a few weeks ago, removing the method of teaching reading known as the 3Qing system or the Lucy Calkins method from school curriculums and replacing it with the science of reading. Additionally, we were meticulous in following the requirements of SC R.43-170. We studied the backgrounds of contributing authors and contributors to the fundamentals of instruction and content for each publisher, as well as books included as required reading in the curriculum for upper and lower grades. We further studied the AI aspects included in each of these publishers' advertised affiliations with various web-based platforms. Very briefly, let me point out that in 2015, the web platform Vista purchased PowerSchool. Since then, they have acquired other education tech companies such as Schoology that collect different kinds of student data. Schoology is a widely used learning management system that is used in many South Carolina schools today. When our team reviewed the original list of publishers last year, the curriculums offered included science, history, and mathematics. In this shortened version, we are seeing only language arts, and only for elementary and middle schools, with some AP language arts included. We sincerely hope a proven math curriculum will be part of our public schools in 2024-2025, because the most recent statistics show U.S. students ranking 25th in mathematics when compared to other industrialized countries. Having said all that, let me get down to the point and give you our recommendations with qualified reservations. For grades K-5, we found the web presentation of Amplify Publishing satisfactory. Amplify recognizes that South Carolina teachers are in the process of transitioning from the 3Qing method to teaching language arts to the science of reading, and has developed a strong transitional base from which to give students the most benefit of learning phonetically without any residual reliance on cueing. It is an established fact that mixing the two methods does not work, and for South Carolina reading levels to be satisfactorily raised, we must adhere to the science of reading methodology. Amplify's success includes statistical improvements in reading levels of 16% with their core knowledge language arts program. Their differentiation program intercepts the slower learner before they become at risk and designs specific programs to help the student. They pay particular attention to the recognized and accepted developmental skills of children at each grade level, giving specific instruction to build vocabulary and comprehension across an integrated learning program that not only works at grade level to reinforce necessary skills, but builds throughout all grade levels to create knowledge-based proficiency that becomes fundamental to the scholarly growth. We found Amplify Publishing used clear language without abstract or ambiguous inference. We believe on the basis of the video reviewed, there will be a transparency in this curriculum that parents will appreciate. For grades 6 through 8, we give McGraw-Hill a guarded recommendation with extreme reservation and caution. There are aspects of this curriculum that potentially create battlegrounds where we have already fought and should understand where the public and the parents of students also stand. McGraw-Hill's curriculum for K through 5 was not as impressive as that of Amplify, but their 6th through 8th grade curriculums have some valuable concepts that address the multiple ways students learn and identify students that may not be at grade level or are at risk. Their differentiation program analyzes specific needs and shortfalls in performance based on individual assessment. This publisher also has programs designed to reach students who use English as a second language and may not speak English in their home. We highly caution that McGraw-Hill offers 180 fiction titles for classroom teachers to use on their own volition. Whether these books will adhere to the requirements of SCR.43-170 cannot be known. Because of time constraints, much of the research done on these publishers and the AI aspect of the publishers being considered has been included in an expansion report on my remarks today, which will be left for your consideration. We respectfully offer these recommendations and hope that they are helpful to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At this point, if I have Tinley Middleton from the South Carolina Association of School Librarians, please. I did get the acronym right? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Tenley Middleton. I am a school librarian in York County, South Carolina. I am the incoming president-elect of the South Carolina Association of School Librarians. My term begins in July. I'll tell you a little about myself. I've lived in South Carolina for over 20 years. I received my master's in Library and Information Science from the University of South Carolina in 2008, and my Master of Education in Learning Design and Technology from Winthrop University in 2022. I have been a South Carolina school librarian for over 10 years. I am here today to recap our recent conference. In the spirit of cooperation and collaboration, SCASL proudly invited each of you personally to attend the 49th Annual SCASL Conference, which was held March 5th through the 7th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Thank you to Rita Allison and Ellen Weaver for their responses, although we were disappointed that their schedules did not allow them to attend. We would like to share that we had over 700 participants and vendors in attendance from across the state. We welcomed 23 authors and 12 speakers from across the country, including Oliver James from California, who spoke to the audience about how he learned to read as an adult and the impact libraries have had on his life. We scheduled 76 concurrent sessions led by South Carolina school librarians, teachers, students, community groups, authors, and vendors. Our event was made even more special by student performances from the Lugoff Elgin Middle School Chorus, Dutch Fork High School Chorus, and presentation of the colors by Westwood High School's Army JROTC. We recognize districts with 100% membership and those with large memberships, all contributing to record membership with 1,102 members. We celebrated several professional awards, including the new South Carolina Librarian of the Year, Lonnie Lewis, from Berkeley County. Student award winners were recognized for creating bookmarks, book banners, and book trailers. And we announced the student-selected winning books for our state book award program for picture books, children's books, junior books, and young adult books. I brought along a list of the librarian and student winners so you can congratulate those from your areas. The feedback we have received has been overwhelmingly positive, as attendees tell SCASL how much they appreciate the opportunities for professional development, networking with other school librarians across the state, and meeting new authors who they are inviting to visit their own schools. They said they left feeling inspired and revitalized. Next year, we are celebrating our 50th annual conference. The conference will be in Columbia, March 19th through the 21st, 2025. We hope you can join us next year as we mark this important milestone with librarians from all over the state. It is in this spirit that SCASL hopes to continue open dialogue with the State Board of Education as we all continue to work toward the same goal of providing our students with strong school library programs and all of the benefits they offer. Thank you for your service to our students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Our,
I've got the
yes,
phone.
please, feel free. Yes, ma'am. While she is, while they'll be being passed around, I think we have Matt Sherman, but I think, Matt, you're going to go during the time a little later. So I was just checking to make sure. The forms are coming around. With the Policy and Legislative Committee report, you will notice under Roman numeral 9, State Board Report. As chair, the subcommittee met and heard 2 action items. There were no items for information. The action items were placed on the consent agenda. Consequently, this concludes the subcommittee's report. You'll notice where they stay a request for approval of property disposal from Hampton County and a request for a waiver of South Carolina uniform grading policy. The committee has made a motion. It does not require a second. However, since we do have the ones that spoke with us earlier here. Does any board member have any question, discussion? Is there any discussion? All right, if not, then I would ask for a vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any like sign? Hearing none, the motion carries. If at this time, I would like to recognize Ms. Johnson to present the Educator Professions Committee report.
The Education Professions Committee this morning met, and there were 2 action items that we listened, presented to us, and voted on. One was the new Educator Preparation Program approval recommendation. It's an alternative pathway for education certification, and it's beginning at Coker University. I said college this morning, so that's what I'm trying to get that right. The other was an alternative program approval for additional certification fields for South Carolina Charter School District charter under the Charter Inspire program. We approved both of those programs, and there were no information items on our agenda today.
All right, thank you. The committee has made a motion. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion regarding that which Joette presented to us just now? All right, if not, is there a vote? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries. Thank you very, very much. The Standards Learning and Accountability Committee did not meet today, so at this time, I would like to turn it over to Ms. Kreminger with the Educate Toward Licensure Subcommittee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Education Licensure Committee heard 19 cases in total this morning, with 3 public reprimands, 15 suspensions, and 1 permanent revocation. Special thanks to General Counsel for all the hard work and time they get put into these cases to bring them to us in such a timely manner. And a big thank you to Alan Walters for the time he spent on this committee and all the help that he has given me. Your passion does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
And to say that as well, thank you, because that's a tough committee, and Alan has been nothing but professional all of the time that I have known him, leaned on him, will look at him, appreciate him, and I'm sure, and looking at the back, Mr. Richardson, I think you'll be coming in another month. Is that correct? All right, so it's big shoes to fill, but we are appreciative. With the full board Educator Licensure Committee, the full board ELC heard 4 cases, and we're proud to announce that there were 2 approvals for educator certification and 2 certificate suspensions. Hearing this, I am looking, because we've done all the other votes, and see, where is Alan when I need him? But you've heard that, we've met on that, so I don't think, Alan, unless to another request.
Ratification.
Okay, so we do have to approve the ratification agenda, so do I have a motion to approve the ratification agenda?
So moved.
Ooh, thank you. All right, second?
Second.
All right, we got it. I think Chrissy was saying, but I heard it from reading. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Thank you very, very much, and again, Alan and Chrissy, everybody's so good to put up with the little gerbil-minded man here in the center. Please note that the consent agenda, moving to item number 10, the consent agenda has been distributed. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, Board Member Walters made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, and that is by Board Member Kreminger. Seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed by like sign. The motion carries. At this time, I'd like to bring forward the South Carolina School Board of Education's report. Number 1 will be Mr. Tyler. He's going to bring forward to us. Normally, we do these as best we can when they can sort of line up. It's nice And we have the opportunity to hear a particular case today as it regards a waiver request for a student participating in interscholastic activities. So, Mr. Tyler, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before the board today is a waiver an athletic waiver from Richland District 2. As you all are aware, the South Carolina Code of Laws, Section 5939-160, gives the State Board of Education authority to waive a student's ineligibility to participate in interscholastic activities under certain circumstances. Specifically, the code states that a waiver may be granted when a written statement from a school district superintendent, athletic director has been received stating a student's ineligibility to participate in interscholastic activities is due to misinformation concerning eligibility requirements being provided by district personnel or any reasonable circumstance as determined by the State Board of Education. It's my understanding that Mr. Sherman, the principal, will provide the State Board with details of this request, and that the student herself is present as well to answer any questions that you all may have. Mr. Sherman.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon, sir.
Proud Principal, Blythewood High School, on behalf of Bingle Nation, Richland School District 2, and Michaela Young, our student athlete. I'm here to advocate on her behalf for her eligibility. A little bit about Michaela. She is currently a senior, well on track to not only graduate from high school, but seamlessly transition to Coastal Carolina, which is her target right now. As you can tell, come on up, Michaela. Not only is she a student athlete, but she's clearly immersed in our career and tech program with our hosts, and she started her clinicals today, so pardon the attire, but I think it's appropriate for today. Michaela was well on her way to graduate last year as a student. She started middle school with honors level courses, challenged herself throughout her high school experience with honor level courses, not only to balance out the academic, but also the co-curricular and extracurricular. She's clearly immersed in the high school experience. In lieu of graduating early last year, which was an option for her and starting college earlier with credits under her belt, she chose to return as a senior to have the full senior experience, dive into some dual enrollment classes, but also finish her high school experience as a student athlete, which she spent so many years for. Starting off this school year, her schedule was squared away with not only her HOSA class, as you see here, but she took on 2 dual enrollment classes through a local university, and now is to prepare her for that transition to college. As you know, dual enrollment is a great opportunity, but we do relinquish a little bit of oversight and communication from the school, the home, and also the university, and steps were missed. She was plugged into the virtual classes. It was asynchronous, which means she plugs in and she gets to go. We fell behind because of connectivity. When she reached out to that professor, communication was not clear, expectations were not set, and as you can tell, time went by. So when finally she advocated for herself, went to her school administrator to say, I need help, something's not working. We noticed the timeline, we realized it's not a realistic expectation. She won't finish the course completely, so we withdrew her without penalty. And that's the step we chose to advocate for her. Her school counselor stepped in knowing that not only did she need that full credit of HOSA, but she needed another credit to be a on-term, on-track senior student. So we plugged her into another virtual class through our own platform that we could watch, we could control, and that was the right course of action. Where the error was that was a year-long virtual course, not a semester long. So lo and behold, she's well on her way. She obtained the credits for HOSA. But as the semester ended and we roll into semester 2 and she's preparing herself to not only graduate, but to step onto the track and perform as an athlete, we realized she was not eligible. So we at Blythewood High School take part of that responsibility because she did advocate, she spoke for herself. Steps were taken to put her into a full course credit. But as you know, with regulation 43-24.1, she must have not only been enrolled in 2 full credit courses that first semester, but have completed them. So she completed 1, but that year long, she did not complete the second. So I feel that we own responsibility for that. Knowing that, and we did not realize that, or she did not realize that until we started eligibility for track, and that is a timely process. She knew that this may be an option to sit before you today and appeal on her behalf, but even knowing that that is not a guarantee, she is fully committed to the team. She showed up every single day. She has completed, not competed, she has completed practice every day, not only pushing herself, but her fellow athletes. So regardless of this step, she's been a part of this team. She continues to push herself and push others, but I'm advocating on her behalf to let her finish this year as a student athlete, which is the reason she returned to us. So I'm gonna let Michaela step up and share a little bit.
Thank you. Principal Sherman really said it all. I just want to say I want to run. That's the main thing. I've competed for Blythewood's track team ever since I moved to Blythewood, and it's an experience that I would never regret. And competing, part of a state champion team as well, that's something that I look forward to, and I train through the summer, I train through the school year, even after figuring out that I was not eligible to compete, I still continue to train and I still continue to put effort in the classroom as well to be a good student. But I'm doing this not only so that I can run, but that I can do stuff in my life for which I found meaning in. And that's really it.
What questions do y'all have for us?
And that's brilliant, because that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Are there any questions of the presenters?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. Michaela, you make it difficult because I'm telling you that you're an overachiever. It looks like reading the packet that came to us. Man, I bet everybody around you is intimidated, and
Thank my mom.
that's pretty awesome. And you made it very easy for your principal today. This is probably the easiest presentation I've ever seen on one of these waiver requests. So he should be thanking you right now.
I have.
Are there any other comments, statements?
I'm just curious, what events do you compete in?
Oh, the 400 and the 200.
Very good, very good. All right, any others? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the waiver?
I so move.
All right, Ms. Allison has made a motion to approve the waiver. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Harrington. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of giving Michaela the senior opportunity and an advocate in the hands of Mr. Sherman or Dr. Sherman, whatever, thank you so very much. All in favor of approving this, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? None. Run. Run. We do wish you the very best. Thank you again for coming. You made time. Blythewood's a large school. Thank you, Michaela. Best wishes. Looking forward to great things from you. And Dr. Hanley's right. There's always an inspiration behind it. Tell your mother thank you. Mother Day's coming. Thank you.
Yep.
At this point, we will look at some information items. If Kendra Hunt would please come forward. I think everybody has been given a copy of the financial statement, so I will allow Ms. Hunt to take over.
Right. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the board and Superintendent Weaver. I don't know how I'm going to follow up after that, but I am here to present a brief review of the State Board of Education's finances and budget as we enter this final quarter of the fiscal year already. So yes, you have been provided with a handout. This first page is going to be your finances and budget as of March 31st, 2024. You'll see a column for your budget, a column for your actual expenditures, and then another column for your remaining budget. And the second page is simply just an illustration of these numbers that we're about to go over as a summary. But I promise brevity here, so we'll just jump right on in. And this first top section is the State Board of Education's operations functions. I'll point out two line items, the classified positions or salaries line and the employer contributions. As you can see, those have about a remaining balance of approximately 46% as of March 31st. I just want to point out if that seems a little bit high, it's simply due to a vacancy during the first quarter of the fiscal year. Moving on to the per diem line item, you have about 35.5% remaining. And for your day-to-day operating expenditures, which is going to be your supplies, services, travel reimbursements, you're sitting at just shy of 30% of your budget remaining, which is precisely where we want to see you with 3/4 of the year underway. And then moving on to the next section is educator cases. And as you can see, of your $32,000 budget, we've expended about $9,700 in educator review cases as of the end of March. And just to wrap everything up together in that bottom line, of your total budget of approximately $258,000, we've got about 46.6 remaining at the end of fiscal month 9. So I see no concerns with your remaining budget and your remaining projected expenditures for the remainder of the year. And I will note that my team is regularly monitoring your accounts. And we are working regularly and coordinating with Ms. Moore, your executive liaison, to ensure that all of your expenditures are appropriately posted and budget is being utilized as it should. And I will just say, if you all have any questions or concerns, or if there's any more detail that you'd like to see at any point in time, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to get any information you need and talk through any questions or concerns you might have.
Does anyone have a question? I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you.
Absolutely,
As
thank
part
you.
of our local school board meetings, financials are a monthly expectation. I am appreciative to Superintendent Weaver for having sort of repositioned this so that we can see it over time, and appreciate your pinpoint accuracy as it relates to where we should be, where we are, and if we're not, why we are. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you all very much.
At this point, we would also welcome to the podium Dr., let's repeat that, Dr. Matthew Ferguson. I've said that for 3 years now, and it's,
Thank you, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I will also be brief today, but wanted to give you a quick update on literacy in the Hope Network schools. We are currently in the middle of things, so we are working right now to begin translating Read to Succeed 2.0 into guidelines and support for districts. It's hard for me on this side of it to say this, but the easy part is getting the law passed in Columbia. The hard part is translating that policy into practice. So we are working to get out guidance to support districts and schools in the implementation of that very important piece of legislation. We are also wrapping up district selection of ELA materials. The last few of those are starting to trickle in, and books will begin to ship in the coming weeks to be in classrooms at the beginning of next year for our high-quality instructional material adoption for ELA. Our math adoption is now on the street, so we have solicited and put out an RFP, a request for bid, or proposals from publishers for our math adoption. The review of those materials will begin this summer. The state-level review of those materials will happen in the fall, and then next spring will be the district selection of the math high-quality instructional materials. We are also working currently to schedule the last remaining 10,000 teachers across the state for their letters training. There are about 10,000 teachers who are getting ready to complete their first year of training across the state as well, and so working with all districts and schools to get those remaining 10,000 teachers started in August, and for those 10,000 who started this year to complete next year. So that is where we are on the literacy front. Are there any questions about literacy?
no, sir.
All right, moving on to the Hope Network Schools. Quick update, we are in the middle of budget preparation in both districts. Dr. Rainey Knight is working with us. Many of y'all may know her to help develop those budgets and do some technical assistance in those budget writings, particularly in Williamsburg. And Dr. Michael Johnson is working with us in both districts too to support the school board development in both Allendale and Williamsburg and providing training and being a support to both superintendents. We also have district transformation coaches who are working with the districts going through instructional rounds and supporting districts in finishing out the year, the race to the end, I think Dr. O'Shield said. I'm getting his phrase wrong, but we are in the last phases before beginning state testing. We are also currently working with our Hope Network districts on the recruitment and retention of teachers next year and trying to connect the dots for them to make sure that all vacancies are filled at the beginning of next school year. And that concludes my Hope Network update.
Are there any questions?
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much, sir. And again, congratulations on earning the degree that I've given you for 3 years. As it relates to other business, please remember, board members, if you have not turned in your travel forms, please give the signed forms to Tracy. Also, Ms. Weaver had told us about the gala in the garden. Please be reminded of that. Mr. Walters.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I'd like to request a moment of personal privilege, if I may.
Absolutely, you may.
And I just wanted to say what an honor it's been for me to serve with each of you and some of the members who preceded you on the board. I came on in November of 2019, and not knowing that within a few short months, we'd be in the midst of a pandemic, which changed the way we thought about everything. But, you know, I've been in, was a latecomer to public education. I came on because of Sandy Hook. And so my law enforcement background is what led to that. If you told me 10 years ago that I would be sitting up here or in your chair in 2022, I said, you must be crazy. But it's been an eye-opening experience, and not only from working with all of you, but from the friends that have been made, and seeing so many people who are passionate about public education in South Carolina. I just feel like I'm a much better person for having served with you. And so, you know, hopefully, we've moved the needle some on public education, and certainly I've tried to bang the drum for school safety these past few years. And I just look forward to seeing all the good things that are going to continue under your leadership, and I'll certainly only be a phone call away if you have a question or something.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
very
for the
much.
opportunity to serve.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
If there is no other, anyone else, anybody? All right, hearing nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Ooh, so moved. Second
Second.
from Jackie, and all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Now let's go out of here. Thank y'all.
Be safe.